In a world full of noise and chaos, true strength is not found in force but in stillness. Imagine a mind as clear as a mirror, unshaken in the storm, flowing like water yet striking with precision. What if silence could sharpen your awareness, and calmness could unleash your deepest strength? Discover the hidden power in effortless action, the harmony of body, mind, and spirit, and the quiet mastery that turns calm into unshakable force. This is not weakness. It is the secret path to real power. Stillness brings power, and calm creates strength. Are you ready to awaken it? When the mind is still, it is like a lake without ripples, a mirror without dust. In such a state, everything is reflected clearly, and nothing is distorted. Most people live with a restless mind, always reaching, grasping, clinging to the past, or fearing the future. This movement creates tension, and tension weakens the spirit. A restless mind is like muddy water. It cannot reflect the truth. It cannot see reality as it is. But when you allow stillness, when you stop chasing and simply let the mind rest, clarity appears on its own. From that clarity comes a strength that no outside force can shake, because it does not rely on circumstance. True power does not come from adding more. It comes from removing the unnecessary. A sword is sharp not because of all the metal it carries, but because of what has been taken away. In the same way, when the mind is stripped of noise and clutter, what remains is pure and direct. It is in that purity that power resides. This is why stillness is not weakness. To be still is not to be passive. It is to be so centered that nothing can pull you off balance. It is the ground beneath the storm, the sky behind the clouds. Think of an archer. If the hand trembles, the arrow cannot fly straight. If the breath is hurried, the release is flawed. Only in stillness can the arrow find its true path. Life is no different. When you act from stillness, every move is precise, every step carries purpose. When you are not scattered, when you are not divided, all your energy flows in one direction, and in that unity there is immense power. Do not mistake noise for energy. Many waste themselves in constant struggle, always pushing, always forcing. But what is forced is fragile. The tree that stands rigid against the wind will break, while the one that bends with calmness will survive the storm. Stillness is that calmness, and from it springs an unshakable strength. It is strength without aggression, power without strain, mastery without effort. To cultivate stillness is to discover the center of your being. It is to stand rooted in silence while the world rushes around you. It is to find that nothing outside can truly disturb you unless you allow it. From that state, your actions are not reactions. They are expressions of clarity. And when action comes from clarity, it carries the weight of truth. The one who can be still holds the greatest power, for they are no longer moved by fear, no longer enslaved by doubt, no longer driven by anger. Their strength does not come from struggle, but from freedom. Stillness is the birthplace of true power. Calm in the midst of chaos is not something that comes from the outside. It is a discipline that is cultivated from within. Anyone can appear strong when the environment is quiet, when life is kind, when nothing challenges them. But real strength is tested in the storm, in the clash of uncertainty, in the fire of difficulty. It is there, when everything shakes, that calm becomes the true weapon. To remain steady when others lose themselves is to discover a power that cannot be taken away. Chaos will always exist. It is part of life's flow. You cannot control the storm outside, but you can control how deeply it penetrates you. If you allow the outer world to dictate your inner state, then you are forever at the mercy of circumstance. But if you learn to create calm within yourself, then no matter how fierce the storm becomes, you remain unbroken. This is not escape, it is mastery. It is not about avoiding the storm, but about standing in the middle of it and not letting it bend your spirit. Imagine a warrior in battle. The one who panics, who lets fear rush through his body, becomes clumsy, reckless, weak. But the one who breathes deeply, who remains calm, sees clearly, moves with precision, and strikes at the right moment. Calmness, allows clarity, and clarity is the foundation of strength. Without it, even the strongest body falters. With it, even the smallest action carries weight. The calm mind does not deny chaos. It acknowledges it, accepts it, and then chooses not to be consumed by it. It flows with it without being swallowed. Like a mountain standing against the wind, the calm spirit does not resist with tension, but with rootedness. And because of this, it cannot be toppled. The wind may howl, the earth may shake, yet calm remains. Strength is not the roar of a lion trying to prove itself. Strength is the silent steadiness of one who does not need to prove anything. Calmness does not mean weakness, it means control. It means having the choice to act, rather than being a slave to reaction. Chaos pushes most into fear or anger, but calm transforms chaos into opportunity. When you remain calm, you conserve energy, you see what others miss, you act when others collapse. Calmness gives you the patience to endure, the clarity to decide, and the strength to rise above what would drown others. And in this way, calmness is not just survival, it is victory. The storm outside cannot harm the one who remains calm within. Water has always been the greatest teacher. It moves without effort, it adapts without resistance, and it holds both gentleness and force within the same nature. When it is still, it is clear, deep, and calm, reflecting everything around it without distortion. When it moves, it carves mountains, shapes valleys, and wears down stone that believed itself unbreakable. To understand water is to understand the balance between stillness and power, between calm and strength. Most people resist life. They fight against what they cannot control. They tense themselves in the face of change. They harden like rock. But rock, no matter how strong, is broken by water in time. Water teaches that the greatest strength is not in resistance, but in adaptability. It does not oppose, it flows, it does not cling, it moves on, and yet when gathered it strikes with a force greater than steel. In stillness, water deepens. It holds quiet power. It teaches that calm is not emptiness. It is potential, waiting, ready. When the surface of water is still, it becomes a perfect mirror, showing truth as it is. The same is true of the mind. Only in stillness can it reflect clearly. Only when calm can it perceive reality without distortion. From this clarity, every action becomes precise. Every movement carries weight, and nothing is wasted. But when water moves, it shows its other nature. A gentle stream nourishes the earth, yet a rushing river can sweep away anything in its path. This is the lesson: gentleness and power are not opposites, they are one. Calmness does not mean the absence of strength, and strength does not mean the absence of calm. Like water, you must learn when to rest and when to flow, when to be soft and when to strike. To be like water is to be free. It does not cling to form, yet it takes the shape of whatever holds it. It is never fixed, never trapped. It teaches that real strength is not rigid but flexible, not tense but alive. The body that is rigid will break under pressure. The spirit that is rigid will crumble under life. But the one who moves like water cannot be broken, for they adapt, they yield, and in yielding they overcome. When you embody water, you stop struggling against life. You move with it, you rest with it, and when the time comes, you unleash force without hesitation. This is why water is the perfect image of power born from calmness, and strength born from stillness. Be like water, calm when calmness is needed, powerful when power is required. Many believe that strength comes from tightening the muscles, from gritting the teeth, from forcing every action with strain, but this is an illusion. What is tense will eventually break. What is forced will eventually collapse. Real strength is not found in struggle, it is discovered in relaxation. When the body is free of unnecessary tension, it moves faster, strikes harder, and endures longer. Tension wastes energy, but relaxation channels it. Think of a bow. If it is pulled too tight, it will snap before it can release its arrow. If it is too loose, it has no power. The secret lies in balance, the ability to hold energy without being consumed by it. The same is true for the human spirit. If you are constantly forcing, constantly pushing, you will exhaust yourself before reaching your goal. But if you learn to be relaxed in both body and mind, then every ounce of energy flows where it is needed, and nothing is wasted. The illusion of force makes people mistake noise for power, anger for strength, and aggression for control. But look closely, and you will see weakness hidden beneath these masks. The man who shouts the loudest is often the most insecure. The one who clenches his fists without reason is often the most fearful. True strength does not need to announce itself. It is silent, controlled, and precise. It does not waste motion. It does not waste thought. In combat, the body that is relaxed can react faster than the body that is tense. The mind that is calm can see openings where the frantic mind sees only threats. Relaxation creates efficiency, and efficiency creates power. This is why the strongest strike is not the one that is forced, but the one that is released naturally without resistance. When effort disappears, speed and precision appear. Do not confuse relaxation with laziness. Laziness is the absence of energy. Relaxation is the mastery of it. It is the ability to let go of what is unnecessary, so that what is essential can shine through. Just as a river does not struggle to flow, yet it carries immense power, your actions should not be bound by strain. They should flow naturally, guided by clarity, not weighed down by force. The one who learns to let go of tension discovers a strength that others cannot understand. It is not the strength of hardness, but of freedom. It cannot be broken because it does not resist. It cannot be exhausted because it does not waste. It is a strength that lasts because it is aligned with nature itself. The bow that is drawn too tight snaps. The one with balance strikes true. When the breath is calm, the body follows. When the mind is calm, the spirit aligns. Most people live divided, one part of them thinking, another part resisting, another part fearing. This inner conflict weakens them. Their energy is scattered in different directions, so nothing they do is complete. Nothing they attempt has their full presence. But when body, mind, and spirit move together in harmony, there is no waste, no hesitation, no conflict. There is only pure strength expressed through unity. Breath is the bridge. When the breath is shallow and rushed, the body tenses, the mind becomes restless, and the spirit feels unsettled. But when you slow the breath, when you guide it deep into the body, everything begins to align. The heart rate steadies, the muscles loosen, the mind clears. What was divided begins to move as one. A calm breath is like the rhythm of nature, steady, balanced, alive. In that rhythm you find power that is both grounded and free. Think of a musician. If each instrument plays without listening to the others, the sound is noise. But when every note is in harmony, the music is powerful, moving, unforgettable. The human being is no different. The body is one instrument, the mind another, the spirit another. Alone, they create scattered sounds. But when they are tuned together, they produce a force that resonates beyond measure. That force is true strength. Harmony does not come from forcing the body or controlling the mind with rigidity. It comes from allowing them to find balance with one another. The body supports the mind guides the spirit gives energy to the body. When this circle is unbroken, you become whole. And wholeness is strength. When harmony is present, even the smallest action carries power. A step, a glance, a movement of the hand. Each becomes precise, alive, complete. There is no wasted motion, no wasted thought, no wasted energy. You are no longer scattered. You are unified. And in unity lies a strength far greater than raw force, because it is not only physical, it is mental, emotional, and spiritual together. This is why calmness is not weakness. It is the foundation of mastery. Without calmness, the mind is clouded. Without calmness, the body is tense. Without calmness, the spirit is restless. But with calmness, everything finds its rightful place. And when everything is in its place, you move with the full power of your being. True strength is harmony, not conflict within oneself. From stillness comes effortless action. Most people believe that great results require struggle, that only through tension, resistance, and force can one achieve mastery. But the truth is the opposite. When you are tense, your movements are stiff. When you are forcing, your energy is divided. Effort that is strained is wasted. But when the mind is still, when the body is relaxed, action flows naturally without resistance, without hesitation, without effort. It is in this flow that true strength reveals itself. Consider the bamboo. In the storm, it does not resist with stiffness. It bends, it moves, it flows with the wind. Because of this, it does not break. Its strength lies in its softness. Its resilience lies in its flexibility. This is the essence of effortless action, not weakness, but the wisdom to allow nature to move through you rather than against you. The bamboo survives what the rigid tree cannot, and in surviving, it triumphs. In combat, the one who forces their strikes exhausts quickly, while the one who flows with calmness endures. The one who tries too hard reveals their intention, but the one who acts from stillness is unpredictable, unstoppable. Their movement is not burdened by thought or hesitation. It is immediate, alive, and precise. This is the meaning of being effortless, not careless but free from resistance. Effortless action is not inaction. It is action at its highest form, where every move is exact, every strike is timed, every response comes without delay. It is like a river that carves the land. It does not struggle, yet its work is unending. It does not push, yet its flow shapes mountains. True power works in the same way, quietly, steadily, without unnecessary force. The key is alignment. When your body is relaxed, your mind is calm, and your spirit is steady. There is no conflict within you, and without conflict, action becomes pure expression. It is no longer something you are trying to do. It is simply what you are. In that state, your energy is limitless because it is not wasted on struggle. What others achieve through strain, you achieve through natural flow. To live this way is to understand that strength is not about how much you can force, but how much you can let go. The less you interfere, the more life flows through you. The less you struggle, the more effective your actions become. In stillness, energy gathers. In flow, it is released. The most powerful strike is the one that flows without effort. Noise is everywhere. People fill their lives with constant talking, endless distraction, and restless movement, believing that noise makes them strong, that being loud proves their presence. But true mastery is not in noise. It is in silence. Silence sharpens awareness. Silence reveals what noise hides. The one who can stand silently, who can listen without needing to respond, is already stronger than the one who shouts to be heard. In silence, you begin to notice what others miss. You hear the subtle shifts, you see the small openings, you feel the energy that lies beneath appearances. Noise blinds and distracts, but silence makes you aware. It is in awareness that strength grows, because awareness allows choice, and choice is power. Without awareness, you react blindly. With awareness, you act with precision. Think of the fighter who rushes in with noise, fists flying without thought. Their energy is scattered, their movement predictable. But the fighter who waits in silence, who observes without rush, holds the advantage. Every movement they make is deliberate. Every strike carries meaning. This is the strength of silence. It turns patience into power, and awareness into mastery. Silence is not emptiness, it is full of depth. Within silence, the mind settles, the breath deepens, and the spirit steadies. In that space, fear loses its grip, anger dissolves, and doubt fades away. What remains is clarity, and clarity itself is strength. The noisy mind cannot see truth, but the silent mind reflects it perfectly. like still water reflecting the moon. Do not mistake silence for weakness. Weakness shouts to cover its fear. Weakness makes noise to hide its emptiness. Silence does not need to prove itself, because it already knows its strength. It carries a quiet authority that others can feel without a word being spoken. The strongest presence is often the one that says the least, because silence speaks louder than any voice when it is grounded in truth. Silence also teaches restraint. Just because you can act does not mean you must. Just because you can speak does not mean you should. To master silence is to master timing, and timing is the difference between failure and victory. When you speak from silence, your words carry weight. When you act from silence, your actions carry power. Noise distracts. Silence sharpens. The one who listens deeply, who stands silently, becomes attuned to life itself. In silence, awareness grows, and in awareness lies great strength. Stillness and power, calm and strength. These are not two separate things, they are one. Many people try to divide them, thinking that calmness means passivity and power means aggression. But when you look deeper, you see they are inseparable. Power without calmness is reckless. Calmness without power is incomplete. Together, they form balance, and from balance arises mastery. Consider the ocean. On the surface, it may appear still, but beneath it lies immeasurable depth and force. The calmness of its surface does not mean the absence of strength. It means that its strength is contained, directed, and waiting. The same is true of the human spirit. When you cultivate stillness, you are not removing power, you are shaping it. You are refining it, so that when it is needed, it strikes with precision. Calmness creates a foundation. Without it, power is unstable, like fire without control. But with calmness, power is guided, like fire used to forge steel. Strength born from calmness does not flare and burn out. It endures. It does not scatter. It concentrates. And in that concentration, it becomes unstoppable. Think of a master swordsman. The untrained fighter rushes, swings wildly, burns energy with each strike. But the master waits, calm, steady, patient. When the moment arrives, a single movement decides everything. That is the union of calm and strength. Not many strikes, not wasted motion, just one decisive action flowing from stillness. When calmness and strength are joined, fear disappears. You no longer rush because of doubt, and you no longer hesitate because of hesitation. You act with clarity, not panic. You act with strength, not desperation. Calm gives you control. Strength gives you execution. Together, they make you unshakable. This balance is not only for battle, but for life. In relationships, in challenges, in the pursuit of your goals. The same principle applies. Too much force creates resistance. Too much stillness becomes stagnation. But when the two are balanced, you move forward with harmony. You bend when bending is needed. You stand firm when firmness is required. The greatest strength is not loud, not frantic, not restless. The greatest strength is quiet, centered, calm, and yet able to rise with unstoppable power when the moment calls. This is the way of balance, the way of mastery. When you embrace stillness, power naturally arises. When you cultivate calm, strength reveals itself.